first coat of the right hand door. It's actually supposed to be white and green and black, but you can do the history first. So I'm going to do it, might as well do it properly. That's what I'm after. That's green, 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 black and white. And now some time for some green, because it's green. So green on top of the blues, two different coloured blues. A sky blue along there, and there was a sort of a medium blue along there, and green on top for the Brute 33 paint scheme. So just using the old shitty spray cans. I've got a bit of everything, bit of Krylon, bit of famous Australian export, El Cheapo, and I had to spring for some more expensive stuff for the dark green. But yeah, coming along, we'll see how it all comes out. Out in the sunlight. Doesn't look too bad. So the first door is done. I went over the top with this one. We'll talk a bit more about that later. I'm getting ready to do the second one. I've got all my prints to copy. So I've got these ones, these colour ones are actually off John Goss's replica. And there's a few minor differences to the actual photos taking of the race car. These black and white ones are actually the race car. For example, you'll notice here the two L's on the shell are actually on the door, whereas on John Goss's replica, the replica he did himself, is actually, well, only one L is. So I'm just going to be careful. I mean, I want to try and get it as right as I can without being too pedantic, but it's not until you start looking at this stuff that you realise just, you know, the little differences, minor differences here and there. And that's the right hand door. I'm actually doing the left hand door. So that's because it's such a good picture, I can sort of get a few measurements from that. It's not at an angle. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we go. What I'm doing here is I've just put on, even though the door is blue, I've put on some yellow where I want to rub through the blue, because originally this door was yellow. The car was yellow. In the 73 race, it was yellow. And he painted it blue for the 74 season and the 74 race. So yeah, a little bit of yellow, just, I mean there's a lot there, I won't be rubbing it all through everywhere, but just a few little spots, I don't know where yet, but yeah. Okay, I've got this door to a stage. This is the left hand door. It's off John Goss's 1974 XA Falcon, which won Bathurst that year, and I've got this to a stage where it is ready to get scuffed back. It's not perfect. I I'm going to be scuffing this back, so I wasn't too concerned on paint finish or anything like that, just as long as it was roughly looked pretty good. I actually experimented a little bit trying to get the paint to crack, and you can see there it's sort of cracked in a few little places. Had a few little issues, but I think that'll come through as patina. So I was sort of asked, maybe it'll crack in the future, which would be good, because back in the day the paints they used was just acrylic, or probably not even acrylic. It was probably some sort of enamel or something. So and it was only meant to last one season. So although this looks pretty scabby and rough, like I said, it's because I'm going to scuff it back. So, you know, it's got a little bit of overspray here and there, which I was a bit slack on masking, but overall, this will scuff back. I'm only doing it with paint tins, so, you know, just a range of paint tins and stuff. So these are the pictures I'm operating off. Now the thing is, doing this, this is the original car, a picture blown up of the original car. This is a picture of the original car blown up. Obviously it's a right-hand door, because I couldn't actually get a square-on shot of the left-hand door. Well, I did, but it's pretty murky. I'll show you that one, and it looks pretty crap. I've got a few measurements off that, but what I'm doing is basically I measure from a known distance, so that corner of the door to that corner, measure that, and then compare it in real life to this door, and then divide this measurement by the actual measurement. That gives me a ratio, and then I can actually measure with verniers each part and then times it by my ratio, and that gives me a pretty accurate measurement to transfer onto the actual door. So, but a couple of things I've noticed. This original, but this one is actually off John Goss's replica Falcon, and I've got another one here too of his replica Falcon. Now, you probably don't notice it in real life, but there's a few things I've picked up on. The font on the number 5 is different. It's not a huge difference, but it's slightly different. The font on these letters is slightly different, a bit fatter than these ones. Where the 2 ends is different where it ends on here. So it's almost at the front of the 2 where the door line is, whereas here it's towards the back of the 2. And even the shell sticker, it's only got like 1 L on the door, whereas on the real photo it's clearly got 2 L's. So obviously John, I don't think he did this himself. I think he just, maybe these are probably all stickers or wraps or whatever, and whoever did it just sort of transferred for the replica as best they could. And I've seen a couple of replicas like this where the closer you look, the more differences you pick up. And this is why people are saying go a wrap, it'll be a lot easier, but you lose control, and it's expensive, and I wouldn't be happy with a wrap. And plus I want to patina it and age it myself, and there's a lot of work in masking this up, and it's a bit of a mind fuck. But I mean, there's probably 12 to 16 hours in this. I haven't really added it up, so there's a fair bit of work, but it's cost me very little. It's like 40 bucks in paint for this door, and I've got it pretty accurate probably more accurate than John got of his replica car. So I've still got to do the buffer sticker along here, which is this sticker, and so it's there. And even that is a little bit different. If you notice, it finishes flush with, almost flush with this, the white on the number. Whereas if you look, I don't know if you make, but it slightly overlaps here and there. So the sticker's a little bit bigger. Also, I noticed he's kept this, if you look at the pinstripe, the blue pinstripe that runs all the way through, on every photo I can find, it doesn't. This white overlaps that pinstripe. Anyway, stuff like that. A lot of little minor differences. It's not until you look at it that you actually see. Now, the patina thing, I've already done one door, which you've already shown you, but here it is. Now, I went a little crazy with this. Again, there was a lot of work in getting this accurate. I threw everything at this one. I have gone a little bit overboard. And you'll see there's blue coming through here, because originally on the X8, this is off the XB season, but he was still running XA doors. So the door handle was still XA, even though the front sheet metal was XB. So the original door, they changed the colour for this season, and it was originally the blue, the Bathurst winner from the year before. Oh no, actually I think it was Seaton's car, the number 2 car, actually they used for this one. But yeah, so that's why I've put a little bit of blue, and on the bottom here, it's a darker blue on that XA. They use a sky blue on the top and like a medium blue on the bottom. So you can just see where that's rubbed through. So I have gone to a bit of trouble trying to put things in there for the people that really know their shit. Like I said, I went really overboard with the rust and that. I can pare that back. That I can pull that back if I want to. The staining, they always usually stain where there's any bolt holes, it stains. So probably went a bit hard with that, but you know, I'm still trying to decide whether I go the cartoon route. And what I mean by cartoon, I used to make a lot of models, military models, and we weathered those. And there's a bit of a saying that the over weathering of them is almost like it's a cartoon. They look really good, but they're not really that accurate. And I'm sort of debating whether I'm going that way or not. Like I said, I threw everything at this just to see how it would look really, really badly weathered. And I don't know, I might pull back on this one a little bit. So just because it's a different panel off a different car, so you know, I'm pretty much having Alan Moffat on one side and John Goss on the other, and remembering that this is the 1974 colour scheme, but the year before John Goss ran the same car, but it was in a yellow paint scheme. Hence why I put yellow down first, so you can just see some of the yellow coming through. That'll, when I scuff it back, you'll see a bit more. But yeah, this was originally yellow, and they've just painted blue over it to get for the 74 season. So the 73 Bathurst car, which almost won Bathurst in 73 due to a bit of bad luck, it was originally yellow. So it's not that much harder to do, and it just adds a little bit extra, I think. And I'm a bit pedantic like this. Like I said, it takes a lot of hours doing this, but I sort of enjoy it, just working away in the garage. messing about with this stuff. Like I said, it's a lot of calculations. You can see how trying to draw all those lines just to try and get that number 5 perfect. But yeah, I think it's coming up all right. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it a scuff back. Yeah. So all I'm trying to do here is I just got a bit of 800 wet and dry, and I'm just to begin with, I'm just trying to get rid of the lines. You can feel the lines from where I've been mastered up. So I'm just scuffing those off and any imperfections before I move on. Just to make it a bit smoother. I don't want those lines. I don't want to be able to really feel them. So I just want to flatten those off a bit, those masking lines. So now I've got the mask saw lined up. What I use is a bit of red Scotch-Brite, and I just go over, and you've got to be careful when using the 800. You start to, I mean, it's all about feel, but if you go too far, you're stuck with it. So it's better just to take your time and just you can just slowly wear your way through. There's not a lot of paint on this, so it's not hard to go too far. So just take your time, and especially around areas where it gets a lot of use, like door handles and key locks and all that, you can go a bit harder. Especially along here where your arm is on the window and that sort of thing, you can go a little bit harder. But yeah, and then you just slowly work it through. So you just keep working your way. This is until you get the right effect. You know, like areas like this where probably passenger side arm or whatever. Areas where there's high wear, like door handle, scupper around here. I mean, you just sort of play it by ear. There's no real hard and fast rules, a bit of random stuff. I mean, you know, part of my dream is that this was sitting in a junkyard for 30 or 40 years. It could have been lying on its side, or, you know, hanging from a tree or whatever. Obviously here, you know, is a bit better because that's where the mirror sits, so it's got a bit of shade. So you just got sun damage and whatnot. And yeah, it's just matter of just working away to get the effect that you want, and yeah, it's actually not that hard. The paint layers underneath are probably the most important thing to get right, is layering your paint so you get that rub through effect. But yeah, a bit of Scotch-Brite, a bit of wet and dry, a few tins of cheap spray cans from auto stores, and yeah. Okay, left-hand door patina and paint scheme just about finished, I think. It's I probably went a little bit further than I wanted to, but this is actually wrap, so it's actually a sticker. And yeah, I think it'll do. I think it'll do. Well, that's right hand and left hand door pretty much done. Wasn't sure if I was going to go this far, but it is what it is. I suppose I just went until I felt it was right, until I liked it, and I suppose that's the main thing that counts. I'm pretty happy with it. It can be changed. It's not, I wouldn't say it's, you know, permanent, so I can pull it back a bit. But yeah, I think this is sort of what I'm going for. I didn't really want it to be authentic because it's fake. I mean, there's no getting away from it's fake. It's fake. But I wanted to make it look as if it could be real. But I'm not also trying to hide that it's fake. So I don't know. It's a bit of a conundrum. I sort of want to be honest about it being fake, but I want to do it, make it look authentic. It's a bit of a mind fuck, I suppose. I end up making this out of just wrap. It's just a matte white wrap, and using textures and fading it and sanding it and come up all right. Remember, this is not rust, this is all paint. It's all paint. So underneath all this is the 2-pack white. So it's got a good layer of that. So it's not actually rust. So don't panic. It's all paint. So yeah, and this video's already gone quite a long further than I thought. I've actually got more footage. Otherwise the video would be like almost an hour. So I'll wind this video up, and probably in a few days I'll post another video. That's mainly with doing the cavity wax and carbon fibre scoops. Made some progress on there too. So started the ball rolling this. I'll start on the shell probably next week or this week sometime, and just keep going with it until it's finished. Yeah, let me know what you think. Like if you like, hate if you hate. I don't expect it to be everybody's cup of tea, so but I know it's what I wanted, and like I said, this can be changed quite easily in the future. You know, all the hard work's been done, all the foundation's done. It's just there's not much of there's not much of this paint on there, so you know, we'll see how we go. Some people have mentioned that, you know, I should clear coat it. No, I'll let it naturally bed in, and I don't want to really protect it. So it's already got its protection. This stuff on the outside. The car's going to be garaged most of its life, 99% of the time anyway. So this should be all good. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Let me know what you think. Any questions, comments? Don't hesitate. I'm not offended. Cheers.